just picking up on some of the themes of your speech today, you had that announcement about more incentives for businesses in the bush. We're increasingly seeing that. You know, you also pay bonuses for doctors and nurses to come to regional Queensland. I think there are some education incentives in some states. Do you see more capacity to grow that for other key workers? So, for example, you know, ambulance officers, police. Is there more capacity to give that economic stimulus to encourage these really important workers to stay in the regions or to come to the regions?
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. We just had National Cabinet, and it's an issue it's a national issue. Like, everyone is like poaching everybody else's staff, and it's who's got the best incentives to get people. But what we find is that once people move to a region or a small town, they become part of that town, or they meet their husband or wife and end up staying and raising their children. And I've met people where this has happened to. So I do think there's a lot of opportunity there. And with police, the police commissioner told me that they are now seeing a big increase in the number of people wanting to join the police academy, which is also a very honourable career. So I just think it's how we can sell the outback and the regional areas to people. One other key issue is with the doctors. And this has come very strongly from the universities as well. If you have more placements out in regional communities, they actually, I think from memory, the rate is between 80 and 90% end up staying in those communities. So, you know, we've been speaking with the federal government about expanding some places, and I noticed that they did make a recent announcement for extra places as well.
Thank you. One of the other big issues that we're seeing come through in the feedback from our audiences, and certainly from protesters here today, is the question of the rollout of renewable energy. So I know renewable energy is a priority for your government. How do you make sure that you get that balance right so that farmers, agricultural landholders feel that their land and their ownership of that land is respected, so you get that balance right, and then similarly so that renewable energy companies have the same requirements and restrictions that mining companies have had?
Yeah, well, I think the Queensland economy is going through a big transition, and we are a resource-rich state. Coal is going to have still a significant role to play. In terms of our metallurgical coal, there is no alternative to making steel. And what we've done is we've actually assured our trading partners that we are committed to ensuring that they have security of supply. However, what we also know is that we are on the cusp of the biggest renewable energy revolution that our state and our country has ever seen. The big mining companies, the big companies in South Korea and Japan, they now have two arms. So when they come to meet me, they say, we are from our coal division, and the next person says, we are from our renewable energy division. So the whole world is moving in this place. Now, in terms of renewable energy, we need to do this transformation. And what you're going to see over the coming years are those two big pumped hydros, but also to the big transmission grid, which will be keeping in government hands, but also to a lot of investment coming in for solar and wind farms. So it is going to mean lots of jobs. We've got to start getting our schools ready, our young people ready, so they are training to make sure that they have the skills to get into these employment opportunities. And, you know, moving to 70% in 2032 is ambitious, but I believe that we have the people and we have the capacity to do that. And we are not going to pull the pin on our coal-fired power stations. We are going to transition, and when that battery storage reaches up and the hydros get built, then we start to lower down our reliance on our coal-fired power. So we're not just going to be left in abeyance. We're going to make sure that the transition is smooth. So this is very big for Queensland, but also to the opportunities it presents us, especially with critical minerals. We have everything that we need here to manufacture domestically for this clean energy revolution, including batteries.
Yes, and I just want to pick up just on that issue of landholders. can landholders feel safe and secure that when renewable energy companies want to get onto their land to create this revolution, that they will be adequately compensated?
Look, I think there's a lot of communication that does happen, and if there are issues with some of the people outside, we are more than happy to put them into contact with the relevant departments.
Yeah.